So what is value ladder? Well, I think in today's module or in this module, what we're gonna cover is something called a value ladder, and this is a critical marketing strategy to truly help you grow your business and also help you attract a qualified prospect, vendor and buyer come to your business. Well, I'm gonna explain how you can use a marketing strategy, in your business. So what are you going to learn in this lesson? You are going to learn the structure of a value ladder, and you also going to learn what the benefit of having a value ladder in your business. In addition, you also going to learn how big companies use value ladder to acquire new customers, without paying anything for marketing. And you also gonna see some relevant case study, and there are some what if question will be answered. So why do you need to know this now? Reason why you need to know this is because this will help you attract qualified prospect vendor and buyers. Reason why you need to know this is because this will help you attract, qualified property seller and buyer leads. And the reason why you need to know this is because this will help you, progress a relationship between your client and between you and your client quickly. So when they are ready to sell or buy, then and you will be the agent they contact. And so what is the most important reason why you need to know this? Well, the most important reason why you need to know this is because this will help you understand the reason why people will give you money and how you can increase your profit margin in your existing business without spending extra on advertising. So, before I'm going to the value ladder, this strategy, I want you to ask yourself two questions. And the two questions I want to ask you, you have to ask yourself really carefully, what business are you in? And what business are you really in? And the two questions are really critical. And for most of the real estate agent, you may say, okay, I'm in the business to help the people selling property, or I'm in the business to help people buy property. Yeah, that's more superficial, definition of what business you are in. I guess later on, if you, just watch this, just watch the training and do the exercise, then you will find out the business you are in is not the business you think you are in. And I hope that's gonna change your mindset because you're gonna have a different perspective, about the business you are in. So, by the way, whatever business we are in, by the way, and we are in the business to satisfy human needs. And I'm not sure anyone heard about Tony Robbins, but I've been to his seminar. I studied a lot of his material, and one of the famous, research he has done. Pretty much the original research was done by Abraham Maslow. And Abraham Maslow discovered this. I think Tony Robbins, and then he expanded the definition. So, but I want to explain to you, and it doesn't matter what business we are in, and we are all in the business to satisfy 6 human needs. By the way, the reason why it's called human needs, not human wants, is because the needs, they have to be met. It's kind of like a food. We have to eat food every single day, and it's kind of like water. We have to drink the water every single day as well. And these human needs, they are psychological needs, by the way. And so it's kind of like by the way, but the importance of meeting the psychological needs, it is equal to the importance of meeting the physiological needs. And both of them are really important, and this is what drives the people to do what they want to do, what they do. And actually, this is what motivates people as well. So first one, I wanted to start with something called certainty. Certainty is assurance you can avoid pain and gain pleasure, safe and security. So most people, when they do something, they want to feel centered, and they want to feel 100% sure. I give example about it. And so if you are dealing with a prospect vendor, who are let's say who are doctors and who are lawyers, and these people are looking for security. Pretty much one of the major needs that have to be met is centrality. So for them, security is number one and centrality is number one. That is why they are willing to stay for a job for decades, many years. And this kind of people and value centrality more than any other human needs. So that's why you can see that people, who stay a job for a long time. And the second human needs, they call uncertainty and variety. And the needs and for unknown and change, new stimulation and adventure. So for this kind of people, by the way, everyone, have this 6 human needs, but some of the people who just value centrality more than uncertainty. So I make sure everyone has 6 human needs, but someone value just more. Some people just think about centrality is number one, and then most of them just have a secure job. That's totally okay. And other people has uncertainty, as number one. Then this guy is always changing, always go for another adventure. People like Richard Branson, he doesn't value centrality a lot. If he values centrality, he will be staying a job, and also he will stay in one business. But he's running 400 companies. The reason why is because he wants variety. He wants to try different things. Well, that's totally okay as well. That is what he values. The need for unknown change, new stimulation, and adventure. As you can see, Richard Branson, who always go for adventure. And significance. Significance is a feeling of unique, of value, important, special, needs, independence. Significance, I give example. Classic example would be Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the reason why he want to become president, one of the human needs, he want to be met is to feel significant. Pretty much as, we can see on the media, he is a person wanted to feel, significant. So that is his human needs. He value that more than any other human needs. And that's why, he behave like that way. And most of them actually are political leaders or military leaders. They want to feel significant and connection of, so a strong feeling of feeling and close union with someone or something. And example I can give to you, would be church. Most people go to church actually. I will tell you, and these days, most people go to church. Most people actually they are not spiritual people, but they still go to church. The reason why they go to church is they want to feel connect. No one wanted to, stay home and feel unknown, and that's why we have family and friends. So we wanted to feel connect with someone, and that's one of the human needs. Have to be met. And another person is Mother Teresa. So Mother Teresa, just one of the person who value, connection enough more than anyone else. No, not more than anyone else, but more than any other human needs. That is why he love and connect with every single person. No, she loves. Sorry about that. And another one is girls. Growth is an expansion of capacity and capability or understanding. So what does it mean, this one? So as a human, and we wanted to grow, we don't want to just be, where we are. If we stay where we are a long time, we want to feel kind of growth. That is why, for some of the people, they value intelligence. Actually, I'm the kind of person as well. I value growth. I always learning, always want to grow, always want to become, smarter, always become more intelligent, always wanted to, looking for new thing, always want to develop my skill, so these kind of people which is value growth more than any other, human needs. And last one would be contribution, a sense of service focused on helping, giving, and supporting others. And so contribution is is one of the needs we want to meet as well. So like, by the way, the contribution doesn't have to be, you become very wealthy, then you contribute. It can be, when you become a father and or become a mom, you contribute, to your kids and to your family members or to your brother and sister. That's kind of contribution as well. Or, we are running our business, we contribute our time or effort, energy, to help the customers. So that's kind of contribution as well. But there are 6 human needs, and these are the 6 human needs, and so all of the product or services are designed to meet people's human needs. Just remember this. So all of the product and service in the world, they are designed to meet people's needs. Example, like Synergize. Synergize would be like a property, house. Why? People want safety, security, and so that's why people buy property, and also people buy investment property as well. And uncertainty, variety, like traveling, and like a travel agency, because they are designed to help people experience the world, adventure, and significance. Significance. There are some of the product like luxury car, Ferrari, and like a Lamborghini, like the some of the fast car. People want to drive a car and feel significant, collection love. Collection love. Actually, Facebook is designed for collection love as well, and one of the Facebook is a value. Vision and mission actually is to connect everyone in the world, and growth, education and training industry, they are designed for growth and contribution. Charity, non-profit organization, they design for contribution. So this is the foundation and for all of the business we are in. And so then let's go to this one, and I want to tell you how important it is. I'm not sure any of you guys heard about a company called Baldwin Locomotive Works, called BLW. So BLW was one of the American manufacturer of railroad locomotive from 1825 to 1956. They have been in the business for 100 years, over 100 years. Originally located in Philadelphia, and it moved to nearby Pennsylvania, and in the early 20th century, the company was for decades the world's largest producer for steam locomotive, but struggled to compete as demand switched to dismissal locomotive, and Baldwin produced the last of the 70,000 plus locomotive in 1956 and went out of business in 1972. And I want to explain. I want to tell you a background how they went out of business. So such large company, but how they went out of business. They have been in the business for 100 years, and they're quite large as well. The largest in the world, but how they went out of business. So so Baldwin BLW, manufacturing railway engine. That's that is the time, the manufacturer, engine, and this research has been done, by some of the business professor in the university, and research about how some of the railway company like BLW went out of business. So one of the research has been done. It says, the American railway, earn huge amount of profit. So anyone approached the chief executive of one of these company in, 1910, and I'm predicting that the major new threat to the business could be in virtually bankrupt by 1930, would be disposed on the hand. And yet, thanks for the development, the car and airplane, exactly what happened. According to the analysis, American railway companies struggle because they define the business as a train rather than transportation. So I want you to think another time, they are the biggest one in the world. Another time, everyone need a railway, and that's what that's why they manufacture railway engine, and they believe, they are in the train business. That's what they thought their business they are in, and they thought about we are going to be in the business forever because we are in the train business, and but unfortunately, and unfortunately, they are in the wrong business, and they didn't know what kind of business they are in. They thought about they are in the train business, and a person come out and then kick them out into business. And this guy is a Henry Ford. So Henry Ford come out with a T model truck. So I think back to 20th century, now at that time, most of the before Henry Ford T model truck come out, most of the transportation, like if you transfer the goods or services, purchase goods, and by train. But when Henry Ford T model truck come out, everyone transport. Now they're not transported goods by a train anymore. They are transported the goods use a truck, because it's just more efficient. And the train will have to build a railway, and it's sometimes it's very challenging, and there are some of the place you cannot build a railway. But with the truck, you can go to hill, uphill, downhill, and go to the mountain. Just so much easy and so much efficient. That is why most of the transportation now has been done, using truck. And I'm sure we can see so many truck drivers now. Because you cannot build a railway, to every place, but you can drive the truck, to every single suburb, every single area, as long as there is a road. And so that's why majority of the transportation has been done using the truck, and that is why the largest the railway engine manufacturing company has bankrupt and went out of business, because they didn't understand what kind of business they are in. They thought about they are in the train business, and actually the business they are in, they should be in the transportation business. Another example I want to give to you is Border Group. Border Group was one of the largest book retailer shop in the world. Actually, they have they have like over 500 stores all around the world as well. They sell books. Actually, they mainly sell the printed books. So it's founded back to 1970s. I'm not sure anyone heard about Border. Actually, they're quite big as well. So, but Border, it is Border is one of the largest book and retailer shop in the world. Truly, they hire a lot, like near 20,000 employees. Truly, and it's really large. And but Border now they're not there, and they went bankrupt. Like company like that, they went bankrupt. Here are the main reasons why Border went out of business, and this comes from the Time magazine and the economy. This is research has been done. 5 reasons Border went out of business and what will take the place. 40 years ago, when Border opened the first store, in Michigan, and the book industry was a different place. At that time, everyone buy printed books. That's what they buy. And Border, acting like it was an accumulated announcement. It's like so. Border at that time they just believe everyone is they thought about they are in the printing, they are in selling printed books. They are in selling books. So they are in the business of sell printed books. That is what they believe they are in. I just remember this, most of the people in the Border, actually, especially the executives, and they believe, we are in the business of just sell printed books. And unfortunately, that's not the truth, because, and here are the top 3 reasons why it went bankrupt. And number 1, it was too late to be the web. When the Amazon come in, and the book actually outsources online book, to Amazon as well. So book, didn't, open an online store. Actually, at another time, they can do that, but they just, didn't do it because they believe, they are just in the printed book business. That's what they believe. And also it was too late for ebooks as well, and because of Kindle come out, but they are not doing any kind of ebook. They only sell printed books. And third reason, open too many stores. So I want to, because the Border, actually they believe they are in the printing book business. No, they are still like a printer book business, and then I think that's the main reason why they went bankrupt. That's why, because they believe that way, and but actually, as customers, we don't care about whether it is a print book or it is an e-book, as long as okay, we don't buy books, we buy the information in the books. So border actually should be in something called information business or knowledge business. The reason why people buy book is because people wanted to learn something, learn a topic, or people wanted to get knowledge from a book, and that is one. We don't care about whether it's a print or whether it is an e-book. I think no one care about. Actually, e-book is better. We don't have to carry, and it's much cheaper as well. So Border, the company of the Border, they believe they are in the business of sell printed books, and unfortunately, they are in the wrong business. They should be in the business of sell information, and then the customers access information and change because of the technology, and they didn't adopt the change. That's why they went bankrupt. Such big company, they went bankrupt as well. Now Amazon Kindle become the new Border group today. Now if we go to the Amazon, we can buy any kind of book we want. More than any category than Border can supply. So that's why Border went out of business. They cannot compete with Amazon Kindle today. So then I talk about the two unsuccessful case study, and I want to tell you about like success case study, who have used this one successfully. And so everyone know McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's was only selling hamburger when they get started in 1940. Actually, this is the first McDonald's, hamburgers. Now at that time, they just only sell hamburger, to the customers, fast food, come out. So they just put it two pieces of the bread and then put the beef in the between. They sell hamburger. That's how they get started. But if the McDonald's still sell hamburger, I think the McDonald's went bankrupt maybe long time ago. But the reason why McDonald's is still in the business and they didn't went bankrupt like the railway engine manufacturing company and also like Border, is because McDonald's understand the business they are in, and they are not in the business of sell hamburger, and they are in the business of sell food. They are in the food industry, and actually they are in the catering industry. Actually they know they are in the fast food industry. To be exactly, I think that's a business they are in. They understand that. That's why McDonald's still not in. So here is a McDonald's strategy, and McDonald's use $1 burger as a bait. They use $1 burger, so everyone can see some TV ads. $1 burger. Normally McDonald's sell this Big Mac. It's called a Big Mac, and for $7-8. But sometimes they run this TV ads or this ads as $1 burger, because they want to drive some traffic, to the McDonald's store or restaurant. And then when people go into the McDonald's store or restaurant, people get $1 burger, and then the person, I guess the high school kid, will say, "Do you want chips?" And people say, "Yes, I want chips." Then McDonald's add chips to them, and then the person also asks, "Do you want to have the Coke?" And then people say, "Sure, I want to have a Coke, because I have a burger, I have chips, I also want some Coke, it's good." Then McDonald's may also, do you want some popcorn? Do you want some ice cream? And then, so when you come out, you are not just spend $1 get a burger, and you are spend so much money and to buy all of his upsell and downsell and all sort of stuff. So like a Coke. Actually, initially McDonald's just don't. For them, they are not in like a Coke company as well, but they partner with Coca-Cola and to provide the Coke for the customer as well. And so that's what kind of business McDonald's is. So the McDonald's way, and $1.91 is the amount McDonald's spends on getting each customer through the door, and $2.09 is the average price a customer spend on a burger, and $2.09 minus $1.91 equal to 0.18 cents is the amount they receive in revenue from a burger purchase. So how do they make money? They upsell you a fry or Coke. On average, a customer will spend $1.77 on the upsell, which cost McDonald's extra 45 cents to make. But now they are making extra $1.32 profit, which means roughly 8 times more profit from the initial sale. So that is the McDonald's way, to make profit. So as you can see, McDonald's understand, they are not in a burger business. They're not just in hamburger business. They also sell chips, ice cream, Coke, popcorn, what sort of stuff, because they understand what kind of business they are in. This is so critical. You have to understand the business you are in. They understand the customers want to have what sort of things, not just hamburger. So if you understand this, then the next step for you to do is much easier, because I'm trying to nail the foundation for you to understand why we do this. And a big company, they are doing this, so they survive and they make a huge amount of profit. But a company, who don't do this, and they went bankrupt, went out of business. So how do you use this? Here is a question you can ask yourself to build your value ladder. What is a product or services your prospect vendor or buyer purchase before, along with, or after hiring you as their agent? Asking this question over and over again. Write down a list of the things you think your prospect vendor or buyer purchase before, along with, or after hiring you as their agent. I'm gonna give you some idea, but I think you know more than I do, because you understand your customer more than I do, because you are dealing with your customer every single day. So I'm gonna give you some idea, but I think you can write down as many as you can. So for example, your prospect vendor may contact a local mortgage broker, to get a home loan approved, before talking to an agent. If you can build a strategic partnership, with a mortgage broker to offer the services to your prospect vendor, then after the mortgage broker help your prospect vendor get a home loan approved, then the mortgage broker will assign the prospect to get value from your services. So after that, you can assign the prospect to a buyer's agent to help the vendor buy a property, so you can get paid from the buyer agent as well. I know this is heavy wording. I'm gonna use a diagram to show you how it works. So this is a diagram that show you how it works. So on the so you as a local real estate agent is in the middle, and this is something called a value ladder. So in the middle of the ladder, it is your services. Actually, your sales funnel, I have to say your webinar funnel is in the middle as well. And I guess one step, below the value ladder, it is a strategic partnership. These people can send you the prospect vendor or buyers. I use a prospect vendor as example, because that's the one it's a user, but this one can do for buyers. So let's say before someone I think because I worked in real estate, and also my family are doing property investment, so I understand the process of real estate. I think most of the people, before they're selling their property, and they are going to be very likely going to contact a local mortgage broker. Why? Because they wanted to buy a new property in some other area, so they want to talk to a mortgage broker, to get the home loan approved, so they can buy the new property. So once they find out a new property they want to buy, then they were gonna sell the existing property to buy the new property. Makes sense. So before the prospect vendor talking to a real estate agent or hire a real estate agent, and I think most of the prospect vendor will talk to a mortgage broker, to get loan approved, to find out how much they can borrow. So these local mortgage broker actually are one of the best strategic partnership, who can send you qualified prospect vendor into your sales funnel, into your webinar funnel. And the second type of people could be local landscaper and local plumber, local painter, and local property stylist, local builder, local kitchen, bathroom renovation shop. Because why? Because before, people are selling the property, they are doing all sorts of like landscaping, plumbing and painting and property styling or kitchen bathroom renovation. Why? Because they want to sell the property, for the better price. So they wanted to make the property looks good. Then they can put on the market. So these are the people are likely going to have are going to have your prospect vendor as well, because your prospect vendor may contact them to do all sort of things before talking to a real estate agent, before talking to you. So if you can build a strategic partnership with all sorts of people, like I have listed here, by the way, there are more you can do. This is just some of the example. I think, I know it, they could potentially send you the prospect vendor. But you can add more, like a local conveyance center, local tax accountant, and many more. And as many as you can, by the way. And then they send you the prospect vendor into your funnel, and that's a goal for them to send it to. And so after that, after your prospect vendor already sold the property with you, and the property has been sold, they say, okay, let's say you already sold property, then your local real estate, let's say your prospect vendor and your vendor, what do they need and what is the next step? What next? They may need a buyer's agent. Why? Because they may looking on your area to buy. They may need a buyer's agent to help them, and they may need to talk to a financial planner. Why? Because they say, okay, I sold the property, then I get money. I wanted to, I want to talk to a financial planner, to manage my money. Or they want to talk to a tax accountant, because once they sold the property and how much tax they want to pay, they will talk to a tax accountant. And they may talk to a furniture moving company, because once they sold the property and the buyer already got the key, they have to move. So guarantee they need a furniture moving company. So if you can, build a strategic partnership with all sorts of people and ascend the relationship to these people, and then you can get it paid by them as well, like a buyer's agent. You can negotiate how much buyer's agent can pay for you, and you can negotiate with the financial planner how much they can pay for you, and a tax accountant, furniture moving company, and plus many more. By doing this, and you can increase your profit margin, and without getting on your customers, without getting on your prospect vendors. So how to get the most qualified prospect for your business? Here is a simple fact that will help understand how this marketing strategy to help you get the most qualified prospect. So, typical mortgage broker only are like 0.46% to 0.65% commission of the loan amount, which is about $3,000 on 500K loan, and a trailing commission typically range from 0.1% to 0.35% of the ongoing loan, about $1,000 per year on 500. Okay, so it's not much money, by the way. I just let you know. So this is you can Google search about it. I just did some Google search, mortgage brokers commission. So that is the research I have done, and that's just give me a rough idea about how much mortgage broker can earn. So as a mortgage broker, there are only 3 ways for them to make more money as well. Option 1, get more new client. Actually, this is the hardest way because they have to, pay for Google advertising, Facebook advertising, or advertise on newspaper, or go networking, or word of mouth, or but they have to do something. They have to do some sort of advertising or marketing. It either costs them time or costs them money. So this one, it is the hardest one because getting new client, it either costs money or costs time. Why? It's because the new client, just don't know them, don't trust them. So they have to spend the time and money building the trust and the relationship. Second option, getting bigger client to borrow more money. This is the second hardest one. And why? Is because it's always not going to be easy, to get a big client to borrow more money. And how much money the client can borrow, it depends on how much, what kind of properties, the client can buy as well. So if the mortgage broker wanted to go for people wanted to borrow more money, they can go for the people wanted to buy the natural property. But as we know, not too many people who buy natural property. There are only handful of the people, and it's really hard to do marketing, advertising to target the people who want to buy natural property as well. And the majority of the population who just only buy, who are not going to buy luxury property, so they're not going to borrow so much money. Actually, most of people who buy luxury property, they're quite wealthy. Point is, they don't need to borrow that money. So this second option is definitely its challenge as well. And third option is refer the client to other business. This is so far the easiest way and the most cost-effective way for mortgage broker to make more money. Why? Is because first, they don't have to get a new client. Once they have helped the existing client get the loan approved, then the existing client, will need to sell the property. Then the mortgage broker, can upsell a real estate agent service to the existing client. So mortgage broker can upsell real estate agent service to the existing client, to get let's say get a referral fee, but I think is get the let's say to get a commission from real estate agent. I think that can be done as well. And so by doing this, actually, I want you to understand this is the difference between referral and the strategic part, because the mortgage broker and the real estate agent, they are in the same business. So mortgage broker, apart from he offer like a mortgage broking services, he also offer real estate agency services. So if you understand this, then you think about, okay, mortgage broker and real estate agent are in the same business. That's why we call strategic business partnership. They are in the same business. And so if you are guys in the same business, then the relationship is like a business partnership rather than just a once-off referral partnership. And the first option, costs a lot of money, time, effort. Second option is not always easy because the amount of money the client needs to borrow is based on how much they need. And the third option is the easiest one because they don't have to spend any money, time, effort on refer an existing client to other business and get paid. So why does this mean to you? What does it mean to you? For you. This means it is very easy to get them to become your strategic business partner because it is easy for them to make money, from giving their client to you, because once they have, sold the existing client and they have nothing can sell them for, and they have to sell other people's services or products to make more money. And as a return, you don't have to spend any money on advertising, time, effort on building trust with the client because they have spent the money on getting the client and spend the time and effort on building trust for you. So you are leverage the trust they build with their existing client as well. So how to increase your profit margin without getting any new client? And so this is a real estate agent's commission rate overview. So in New South Wales, if you sell about a 300K property, you're likely to get about 6,000 commission. In South Australia, you may get about $6,400 commission, and in WA you may get 7,470. In Queensland you may get 770. In Tasmania, Tasmania actually has the highest commission. I don't know the reason why, but Tasmania you get 8,820, and Victoria, you get $6,210, and NT, which is North Territory, 7,740. ACT, $6,600. So as you can see, if is that is well, the money is bit a lot, but that's a commission rate. But apart from you can earn commission by sell the people property like this, and you also can earn, I guess, make money by upsell other business services. So there are 3 ways for you to make more money in business. The first option is spend more money, time, and effort on getting a new client. This is the hardest one because it generally costs a lot of time and money on building trust with prospect and then getting them to become client. And the second option is sell more expensive property, such as luxury property. And this can be heavy hard for some of the agents as well, whose farm area doesn't have many luxury property to sell. It can be heavy challenge to find a luxury property buyer as well. So how many you can sell? And the third option, sell the existing client more product or services. This is the easiest one and the most cost-effective option because the agent doesn't have to spend any money, time, and effort on getting new client. The only thing the agent, needs to do is ascend the vendor or buyer to the next step of the value ladder, so the agent, can get a commission from the business who offer their product or services. And getting new client vs is selling existing client more. So it is 6 to 7 times more expensive to attract a new customer than it is to retain an existing one. So it is 6 or 7 times more expensive to getting a new customers than to sell an existing customer a new product or services. So change the mindset. Rather than always chasing a new customers and to make more money, maybe what you can think about it, what kind of new product or services you can sell to existing customer. And the second research is more interesting. The probability of selling to an existing customer is up to 14 times higher than the probability of selling to a new customers. So because an existing customer already trust you, like you, and they already, done business with you. They know you are a good person, you know you are professional, and so just the probability of selling to existing customers is up to 14 times higher than the probability of selling to new customers. And so this is the reason why you need to sell your existing customer more product and services to increase your profit margin in your business. And so buyer's agent commission structure, let's give you an idea about how much you can earn, how much more. You say, okay, I don't earn much, but I give you example how much you can earn. Let's say if you can refer your vendor to a buyer's agent after the vendor sold the property, for you, this is how much you can earn. Vendor has a commission model like 1% to 3% of the purchase price. So let's say, generally in Sydney, we have median price property is $1 million in Sydney. That means the buyer's agent can earn $10,000 to $30,000 to help a vendor to buy a new property. So if you can, build a strategic business partnership with a buyer's agent, and then you can say, okay, to negotiate a percentage of profit you can take. So let's say from maybe $10,000, let's say if you can take, let's say 10% or 20%, and that means you can make another $10,000 to $2,000 as well. That's really good money, and that's money is so easy as well. It's not really hard, and you can make. And so what are the potential what if question you might have? I think at this point, some people have some what if question, and I'm going to address in this in next few minutes as well. So what if the local mortgage broker doesn't want to do the strategic partnership with you? Well, if the local mortgage broker doesn't want to do a strategic partnership with you, then the main reason is because I think I've helped the local mortgage broker understand what financial benefit he or she can gain from the strategic partnership. And if you can clearly explain that there are only 3 options for them to make more money in their business, and the third option is the easiest one for them without any loss, then the chance for them to do the strategic partnership with you is much higher. And so what if the local mortgage broker doesn't want to do strategic partner with you? And if the local mortgage doesn't want to do strategic partner with you, then I think if the local mortgage doesn't really want to do it, even if you spend time explaining it, maybe the local mortgage broker just because he's maybe he's he doesn't like money, or maybe he's just so stubborn. He just say, okay, I just want to get a new client. I just want to get a new client. I guess it can be very rare to find this kind of mortgage broker, because most of mortgage broker earn commission. So who doesn't want him more money from a real estate agent, and it's quite easy money as well. But okay, let's say if you find this kind of mortgage broker, who just wanted to get a new client, doesn't want to refer existing client to you, then you can find other local business to do a strategic partner with you, such as local landscaper, kitchen renovation shop, property stylist, and many more. I guarantee you can find one. If a local mortgage broker doesn't want to do it, you can find other local tradespeople, who are willing to do it. I guarantee you're gonna find one. The chance for you to find 0, is very rare. Who doesn't want to make more money, especially the easy money? So what is a strategic partnership? Cannot get the fee from me because of his or her profession. So if the strategic partnership cannot get a referral fee from you because of his or her profession, such as conveyancer, then what you can do is using something called a barter trade system. And how does it work? Well, you can tell the conveyancer or not you are going to pay them with barter card credit, and where they can use to buy the product or service they need or want. So what this is a you can research the company called bartercard.com.au, and it works as well. So both, I think the conveyancer and you need to become a bartercard member. And so everyone, so you're gonna get a car, and the car say how much credit you can get. So let's say a conveyancer will get a $200 referral fee from you, and but the conveyancer, just cannot receive the money, which is financial money, and is because. But what you can do, and you can use the $200 and as a credit and as a barter and trade barter. So the conveyancer can get a barter, and credit from you, which is worth $200, and to buy the service or product they need, or they can use barter to take the money out. And I'm not sure if that is possible with this company, but even if he cannot take out, he can buy so many products and services as well. Just go to bartercard.com.au and you can find how that works. So what have we covered? We have covered what the value ladder is, and why do you need to know this, and why it is important to you, and what are reasons why you need to build a value ladder, and how does the value ladder actually works for you, and what if question you might have regard of this marketing strategy. So what is action step you can take? And there are 4 steps I want you to take. Step 1, list all of your potential strategic partnership who can send you qualified prospect vendor and buyers. Step 2, list all of your potential strategic partners. You can send your past vendor and buyer to make a commission. And step 3, buy Never Eat Alone book by Keith Ferrari from Amazon Australia and read it. And this book is so important. This book will teach you how to network and will also, but it give you strategy to network, not just give you a bunch of information, but give you the strategy. And in the step 4, I'm going to cover something called a relationship action plan worksheet. Actually, it's come out of the book, and this will teach you how to create a relationship action plan to build a relationship with the strategic partnership as well. So additional content and how you can get it. So in next lesson, we are going to cover relationship action plan worksheet, and it will help you create a strategic relationship building action plan. You can use to build a high quality relationship with your strategic business partnership.